Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
The cool thing that we have in common is that we like to have fun, you know, which is a cool thing. And I want to, I was thinking about that when I was starting the trio, and, you know, guys that can really bring the moment alive.
Yeah, baby.
What is jazz, first of all?
Did you stick it in the bridge or have it on a stand?
That's another debate.
I don't want to answer that question.
I don't know. I guess the thing about jazz is
Something I can't describe. I don't know, it's weird, I don't know. It's very weird.
Jazz, that term is... What is jazz?
there's enough leeway for people to express themselves in the moment, which is cool. You need to get to that point where you're open enough to let it all out, you know? That's the first step, because then you access the music.
Take it, brother.
So I think music was always kind of in my surrounding, you know, and it was a lot of musicians hanging around, a lot of musicians rehearsing, this kind of thing. So my exposure to the musician's life and delving into it was probably what came before me actually playing and picking up an instrument. Back then, I was just a kid and they were all my uncles, even Brafea, you know. Yeah, I remember Brafea walking me to Hillbrow to buy a CD. They were just like uncles who were around and, you know, friends of the family. I saw them more in that light, and only later when I came into this music, I you know, realized what a thing that was. I was listening to a lot of music at the time, and I just remember having this strong feeling, thinking like, if this thing, music, can make me feel, you know, the power of emotion and inspiration that it gives you, if I could do this for a living, you know, it would be a beautiful thing. There were two practice rooms at my school, and I used to always hear this guy. He was completely self-taught, like he'd be in the practice rooms all the time, and he was playing like Janet Jackson songs and this, like really cheesy R&B stuff. But it was amazing for me that this guy would just play by ear and, like, you know, check out his stuff, and I thought this was like really cool, and I wanted to be able to do that, you know. My entry into piano playing was not structured. I had this stuff that I learned from this guy, and I had to figure out my own way of navigating this thing, you know, like what is this note and how do I, you know, how do I figure it all out?
I really love his sensibilities musically. He's got like quite a wide sense of sound that he brings into his thing. I'm moving away from using the term jazz these days because I find it restrictive in a lot of ways. So I like to play with guys who draw from all these different things.
I've had a long-standing relationship with him. He's one of my best friends, and you know, we play together and we listen to a lot of the same music, and it's cool because things are just easier to communicate, and sometimes I don't even have to communicate because he knows.
I know the kind of harmonic structures that he gravitates towards, and I'm really into those same sounds and stuff. So there's like this very strong understanding of our musical personalities.
He's definitely one of my closest brothers in music because we have walked the journey together. We studied together at the university. So I mean, I think he's just an amazing musical force. Marlon is a little bit younger than us, and he came into the scene a little bit later. He's cool, like really fresh, you know, and really fun to play with and fun to watch. And he's an exciting musician.
They're cool, man. They are the cats on the scene. They are the A-team, as it were. I've been checking them out since I was in high school. You know, I was like 15 years old, and they were playing on stage, and I was like, shit, these cats, man, they're cool. So when I met them, I was quite intimidated because they're the cats, you know. And then we started hanging, and it was cool. We just chilled and we bonded, and it's a vibe. It's like we've been homies for a long time.
No, not really. That's where the small thing are right.
The same as B, just B. Normal B and F.
Any role models or
Yeah, lots of influences. Yeah, lots of people. A great inspiration for me is Bokani Dyer, pianist and composer, and very deeply spiritual person. Yeah, he's just amazing. Like, even beyond technical ability on the piano and great compositions. I watched a video on YouTube recently where he was talking about this, and he's like, look, he thinks he's technically limited, but a lot of people are spiritually blocked.
Well, I was singing, and this came through ngoma, which means a medium in English. I also see myself as a medium, but using sounds, using music, and I'm trying to be more conscious of this, working towards purifying the tube which this energy comes through.
He was just such an open person, you know, and like the thing I was talking about earlier about just being open and letting the music, you know. He was, just a very special guy. So he's definitely a huge inspiration. But I've listened to so much music and so much different music, and I think it's important for people to listen to a lot of different music. I remember reading a line out of a book. I think it was Beyond the Blues, I'm not sure. But it was, this guy who was writing the book was in South Africa, in Joburg in the 60s. And he said something like, South African jazz is probably the most distinct jazz tradition outside of America.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Orbit. Thank you so much for coming out.
Guys in mind from the beginning before I was writing the music. So I was thinking about that when I was starting the trio, and you know, guys that can really bring the moment alive. which is why I chose Marlon, because he just really, he can make things so exciting, you know, out of something very small.
If Bokani's doing something hectic, I'll just lay back and let him finish, and then I'll add on. Or if Shane's playing something like specific, I'll kind of like follow him or not. So just understanding in how it gels.
So it's like really cool that we can do that, and there's some quirkiness as well about some of the stuff that we play, and it's cool.
So it was always about that. It was about the conversational aspect of the ensembles and the improvisation and the beauty of that kind of freedom and the push and pull and the give and take, and the way the same song played by different ensembles can sound different because of the, never mind the soloing, like the way the bass player and the drummer play the pocket, the way they groove, the way they swing.
You don't really know what's going to happen or how things are going to pan out or the energy or...
I found it exciting. It just seemed endless, you know?
So I think that's a unique and very special thing about jazz music. It's like real interaction, real time in that moment.
Like in every project that I play in, whether it's my music or playing someone else's music, there's like a feeling that I try to get from it. And it's, you can't, it's like an abstract thing. You can't really like dictate what that is or how it's achieved. I think that would spoil the magic of it. It's like an emotional, spiritual high that you get, you know? And it's not always from a fast tune, it's not always from a loud tune. Sometimes it's a quiet tune. It can be when I'm not playing and the pianist takes this crazy journey solo and just puts me in that place, you know? For me, like, it's literally just conjuring this magic that you can access and completely escape some sort of physical grounding. Like, you can't fully escape it because you're still playing and you have like motor coordination to deal with. But to some extent, you have like a slight out-of-body experience while playing, and that's all I search for every time, you know?
These amazing musicians, thank you to the audience, thank you to everyone. It's been wonderful. We've had a great time.
Woo! Yeah! More connected, you know? The sound was nice. I had a better sound on stage.